This is the most bizarre murder method in Conan. The killer managed to stab the victim's throat with a knife without even touching them. Afterward, the killer locked the door from the inside and escaped the scene without a trace. Police quickly arrived at the scene after the murder. Kagoro then explained everything to Inspector Magyar. After hearing the details, Magyar immediately raised a question. Baniko always locked her room with 2 locks before sleeping. How did the killer get inside and escape after committing the murder? Just as Magyar was puzzled, he accidentally noticed a back door inside the room. However, Takagi stated that the back door had been sealed for years. It was impossible to open from either the inside or the outside. Just then, Conan raised a question. If the killer had entered the room, how could Baniko have not reacted? Conan's words made Kagoro think the killer must have approached Baniko before she slept and secretly gave her sleeping pills. Once Baniko fell asleep, the killer brutally murdered her. Magyar was confused. How did the killer lock the main door after attacking her? Kagoro had no answer to this question. Magyar believed that to solve the locked room mystery, they had to figure out how the killer locked the door. A simple deadbolt could be locked easily using a string, but it was impossible to lock a padlock this way. Listening to Magyar's analysis, Conan had another doubt. If the killer used such a strange method, why didn't they make Baniko's death look like suicide? What confused Conan most was why the killer called the internal line to warn everyone before the murder. What was the purpose of doing that? Before Conan could think it through, the forensics team made a discovery. It was normal for the murder weapon to have blood, but blood on the handle was highly unusual. Normally, the part the killer held should not have blood, but that wasn't the only strange thing. Out of the 200 masks at the scene, only one mask was heavily stained with the victim's blood. All the others only had a little blood around the mouth. Just then, Officer Kobayashi rushed in. Their investigation found no footprints around the villa. That meant the killer was still inside the villa. Kagoro quickly realized that Baniko's room had an unusual layout. Although the room was on the east side, it could only be reached via the west stairs. After hearing Kagoro's explanation, Magyar gathered the 5 people staying on the west side. However, when questioned, 4 of them gave the same answer. They all went to check. After hearing a loud noise, only the secretary, Haruka, said that she had drunk too much and heard nothing. Kagoro then asked Shuichi if he had met Baniko before. When he learned it was their first meeting, Kagoro didn't hesitate to reveal that Baniko had hired him for an investigation. Hearing Baniko was looking into his wife's accident, Shuichi became extremely uneasy. This reaction immediately caught Conan's attention. After thinking for a moment, Conan realized that the hit-and-run committed by Fuyuya's mother happened at the same time Shuichi's wife was killed. Everyone immediately realized what this meant. Shuichi stopped hiding. He told the truth. His wife was the one killed by Fuyuya's mother. After learning the truth, Kagoro made his position clear. The 5 people staying on the west side, whether they had a grudge against Baniko or not, were all more or less suspicious. Hearing this, Kazuyo took out her tarot cards. She said the cards showed the killer must be covered in blood. This made Kagoro think if the killer was covered in blood, they would need time to clean up. He concluded that the only possible culprit was Haruka, who hadn't arrived on time. Faced with Kagoro's accusation, Haruka immediately panicked. Without a word, she started fighting with Kazuyo. In the struggle, Haruka, blinded by anger, ripped off Kazuyo's pearl necklace. In an